So I will give some additional pointers for the practice that we did yesterday, centered on metta, maitri, loving kindness. So like yesterday, we will start with generating love, kindness, compassion, peacefulness, happiness to ourselves, and then we will take it from there. All right? So please start aligning your body so that you can sit as comfortably as possible for as long as possible. But then if you feel discomfort at any point, numbness, even pain, change or adjust your posture. Never sit in pain, never try to tolerate pain or discomfort. Place the weight of the upper body in a way that your spine is sort of like a, in the beginning of sitting session you can as if stretch the spine upwards and downwards so that the top of your head goes a little bit. When you straighten your spine, it goes a little bit upwards, unless if it is already naturally straightened. So do that, and as you do that, feel that you shouldn't feel like you shouldn't need to use many muscles of the body to stay upright like that. It's rather that, it just feels good sitting upright. It feels good to have the spine naturally elongated. And from there, with the elongated spine, make sure that the weight of your body is resting on the lower part of the buttocks, where the sitting bones are. So you're not leaning backwards, nor too much forward, but in the middle. So the weight of the trunk, weight of the upper body, is resting on the lower part of the buttocks. This is a very important point, because when the body is aligned like that, then you will be able to relax all the muscles connected with the movement of breathing. And this is very important. If you're leaning backwards, you can't do that. This is why it is always said that, if you sit on a chair or a couch, don't lean with your mid or upper back against the support. Only you can lean with the lower back. That's of course, unless you have some of you might have injuries, that's a different story. Then you just make yourself as comfortable as possible. But as a default, upright feels comfortable, feels good and natural. Consciously relax your shoulders. Let your shoulders, the shoulder joints, just let the shoulder joints, the shoulder area on both sides, sort of like descend down and settle down. And exactly the same thing on the chest. Also the chest relaxes and kind of relaxes downwards against that upright posture. You don't need any tensions in the chest to sit upright, but you need to release if you have some subconscious tensions there. Yesterday I was explaining the basic idea of the teaching of awakening, Buddha Dharma, and I was saying that, it is very much about becoming aware and looking and being attentive about what happens in our mind. But this also applies to the body, being attentive what happens in the body. Yesterday I was explaining that there is this circular wheel where the mind goes from one thought to the next, one reaction to the next, and it's all centered around the notion of self. And it's all, samsara is subconscious, so it happens subconsciously. You don't notice that it happens. But then you start interrupting that it going unnoticed with your attention or with tantric practices. But it's exactly the same thing with the physical body. We carry subconscious tensions in the body. We carry tensions that we don't notice that are there, yet they affect our physical well-being and also our overall well-being. There are different takes on how important the physical body is in spiritual practices, but in Tantra, especially Yoga Tantra, there are many kinds of tantric teachings, and some of them have the opposite view, but in yogic Tantra, in meditative Tantra, that is, geared towards enlightenment and awakening, the view is body positive. That the body is a very positive thing, not negative or an impediment or an obstacle on the way to enlightenment, but the opposite. That the body has the same potential for enlightenment as the mind does. That's a profound sentence right there. I could continue speaking about this more, but let's keep it simple. I'm just making the point that, in the body as well, we carry subconscious tensions. And when we start to feel the body and look into the body, scan through the body, sense the body, then we are also stopping that wheel, that subconscious wheel of tensions, stress and trauma. We relaxed shoulders and chest, consciously relax the area of the belly. Upper part of the belly, mid part, lower part, on the sides of the belly, and also in the lower back. So you remove all unnecessary tensions. There are deep muscles in the spine, in the back, that support the body to stay upright. But all the other muscle tensions we don't need. So let the body soften really thoroughly. Thorough softening. But this softening isn't about going to sleep. It is simply about the physical body, its soft tissues, becoming soft and relaxed. So become aware of also the limbs. You can go through the limbs one by one. Feel the body, feel the limbs from the inside. Feel from the inside rather than looking from outside. You can also relax unnecessary tensions in the area of the pelvic floor. Softening, softening, softening through the whole body. Through all soft tissues. Sometimes I see when people are trying to relax, what I see is that people try too much. It's sort of like people do relaxation as with too much striving, too much effort. If you feel like you're struggling with it, trying too hard, trying hard to relax, think about it in this way. First of all, you don't need to try so hard. In that case, you can think that you let relaxation come to you, come into your body. And you're simply aware of that relaxation taking place. And there is no reward in this practice, after this practice, other than feeling better, feeling good, feeling relaxed. There is no other reward. You might notice that when you get more relaxed, your breathing starts moving in a different way than it did a moment ago. It's kind of like we also practice it, probably also today, but one of the yoga postures, one of the asanas is called Shavasana, means Shava means death, posture of death, often translated as dead man's pose, which means that you lie on the floor like a dead man, as if the body was dead. Here we are doing exactly the same thing, except that our bodies are sitting. But letting go of the tensions completely. Letting go of the control of the body completely. It doesn't mean that we let go of our, how do you say, not that we let go of control in a strange or weird way, losing our, how do you say, independence or how to say autonomy. Not like that. We are doing a yogic practice that relates to health, our feeling better, our minds getting clearer, stopping the samsaric wheel. So in that sense, letting go of the control, letting go of the unnecessary grip, letting go of unnecessary holding, that is not needed. So let go like that. At some point, as you keep shedding the unnecessary tensions, unnecessary gripping, obviously the tensions will get less and less. And at some point, what will happen is that you feel like you don't have any tensions anymore. This is very good. Then the relaxation has been thoroughly practiced. What is the state of mind like then? Remember, this is not, we are not trying to fall asleep. If you feel like you're getting drowsy, notice that. And let that drowsiness, sleepiness subside. Now is not the time to sleep. Thoughts, if you have, are not a problem. Just let them come and go. Now we are concerned about the relaxation of the body. And next, after relaxation, we will look into what it means to recognize the basic state, basic awareness. But take a moment to keep relaxing so that you really get to the bottom of it. Do you feel thoroughly relaxed? Relaxation is like yesterday I was talking about the gradation of the samsaric mind. You remember, you know, small pebbles, even smaller pebbles, gross sand, finer sand, gross dust, finer dust, and even finer dust. Gradation that in the context of sense of me-ness, I-ness, self. It's the same thing, or very similar at least, with relaxation. And it depends on our advancement in yogic practice, you know, how far we are able to detect, how fine structures we are able to notice. But this ability, when you practice on daily basis, starts developing into a skill. And with part of that skill is that you gradually are able to feel subtler and subtler, how do you say, subtler and subtler what? Sensations. So you might feel that, okay, now I've really gone through the whole body and the whole body is relaxed. And that is perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with that sensation, but maybe 1, 2, 3 years down the line, you understand that, okay, well, my ability to sense tensions or sense relaxation wasn't really that good back then. So it takes quite a bit of practice to develop that skill to that level where you can really truly relax through the whole physical organism. And together with it, relax through the whole mind based on the thought of self. But it is possible. Alright, so the relaxation experience that we're having now, it's enough. Next, we will look into basic awareness, basic state, especially from the characteristic of knowing or cognizance. So hear me out. Throughout this relaxation practice that we did, you have been turning your attention down to your body, down to your chest, to your belly, to your pelvic floor. You have been turning as if turning the headlights of a car down to your legs, down to your arms. Isn't that right? You have been turning the headlight down. So when we do relaxation practice, or if we are focusing on chakras in the body, we are using the headlight of our attention. Our attention works like that, or we can use it like that, like a headlight. But what if you just stop aiming it downwards? What if you just stop aiming the headlight to any direction and just leave it as it is? So the light of attention is no longer being aimed at anything. Rather, you just leave the light, and the light automatically, naturally just is. And it illuminates, brings awareness, conscious awareness, basic awareness to our being, to our body and mind. If we think of a beacon, beacons are those big buildings on the seashore that are used to, light of a beacon. It helps ships and boats to locate themselves on the sea so that they don't crash. So if we think of a light of a beacon, it goes from left to right, sending the beam of light in a very concentrated way, right? And this happens because in the light of a beacon, the backside of the light is blocked. There is a mirror behind the light. But what if, as an analogy, what if we remove that mirror structure from behind the light, and in that way stop using that attention? Then it's no longer a concentrated beam of light, it's rather just light shining. This is a perfect analogy when we think about the difference between concentration or attention in comparison to awareness, just being aware. This is not a concentration practice. This is not also a practice of being attentive. It's just a practice of effortless basic awareness. At this moment, we are not applying our basic awareness into anything. We are not using it to focus on some task, or we are not looking at any specific objects. We are simply aware. And this being aware requires no effort whatsoever. No effort, no doing. And this basic awareness, first of all, it's basic. It's sort of like ground. Unshakable, immovable ground. So that's why the word basic is used. Basic state, basic awareness. But an important thing to understand is that there is sense of being awake when we recognize the basic state. We are not partially aware of it. We are not like drifting into thoughts or drifting into sleep. There is a quality of awakeness. Is that a word? Awakeness. Well, it is now. Wakefulness. We are not unconscious. You can perfectly hear what I say. And that is a sign that there is wakefulness in this basic state. You could use that a synonym for this wakefulness is knowing, the faculty or the characteristic of knowing. Knowingness, is that a word? Knowing, quality, cognizant, cognizance. So it's not dumb like a because there is this wakefulness, quality of wakefulness, there is also this knowing quality. So it's not dumb, it is not without discrimination. It is not stupid wakefulness, it is intelligent wakefulness. It is a kind of knowledge. It's knowledge of being without doing. And it gives us knowledge about our true being, our true self, that is without contraction, that is without a small self, that I was speaking about extensively yesterday. Notice, discover this basic knowing awareness in your whole being. Know with your whole being, with your whole body. Recognize with your whole body, with all cells of your physical body. All right, very good. So what we did was that we did a long, well, somewhat long relaxation to make relaxation as deep as possible. And then I simply explained to you how, when we focus on something, we use the, how do you say, beam light of attention, and you use it to focus on something. And then we simply stopped aiming it at any particular thing and just let it be. Let it, we will now do lie down for about 20 minutes. So remain so. When you lie down, obviously it will be easier for you to keep the body relaxed. And then also let your eyes be still. This actually applies whether you are sitting or lying down. Keep your eyes still so that you're not moving your eyes. Just keep them relaxed. And this helps you to discover this effortless knowing awareness. All right? So lie down for about 15-20 minutes. I'll let you know when to get up. All right, so we just did a long session of relaxation and then recognizing the basic state. How did it go? I hope it went well. So this was like a preparation for us to get to do that metta meditation again that we will do next. So I wanted to, this is typical to our style of practice, Amrita Mandala style of practice, that you first establish the selfless mode. I'm sure, I assume that everybody here is familiar with the two-part formula, which is the simple technique that we have to generate the first awakening, to get the first bhumi open. And in that formula already, there is the first mode, first part is selfless. So through relaxation, just like we did, establishing this selfless mode, or let's say at least relaxed mode, where the sense of self, sense of I, me has relaxed, has loosened. And then in our style of practice, we first always want to establish the self-recognition of selfless state. Selfless state, basic state, Buddha nature are synonyms for the same thing. And then from there we look back into the self-based operations, self-based functions, habits and patterns. So, throughout the years you can find many recordings where I've spoken extensively about the two modes and how it really explains everything that we practice in our tantric system. So here also I wanted us to prepare, do a preparation for this metta practice that we do next. So we'll just go into that. So please align your posture again. Take a moment to feel the body. in the relaxation session an hour ago, the way how we did was that we went through the body, its different parts, um, like part by part. But see if instead of aiming your attention down into the body, just let your attention, let your awareness remain open as the unblocked light of a beacon. And let your body relax into that, or with that. Or like I phrased it in the session at the end of the previous session, know with your whole body, know with your whole being. Recognize the basic state with your whole body. It would be also totally fine, if this was too difficult or you somehow didn't understand what I just said. It would be totally fine to, aim attention down into the body and then perhaps go through the body, different parts of it for a few minutes to make sure that the body is relaxed. And then perhaps to stop moving your eyes, and let the light of a beacon just shine. So both ways are totally fine. Use what works for you. All right, very good. So we are now, I was talking about selfless mode, and yesterday I was talking about, interrupting the samsaric wheel that goes round and round inside our heads and minds. Let's now put solving existential questions or problems aside. And now let's focus again on healing and getting better, flooding our system with the energy of light, love, kindness, compassion, and happiness. But before generating it, see if there is already loving energy, kind energy, soft healing energy in you, in your being, as you rest in this knowing awareness. Is that softness, love, kindness, happiness, joyfulness already there? is the basic state, the source of lasting permanent happiness itself. Show me thumbs up or thumbs down if you get this pointer or not. Yes or no? Thumb up or thumb down? Can you discover that there is this joyfulness, happiness in the basic state already? All right, thank you. It seems like you do get it. And when that happiness, joyfulness, softness is there, maybe we can take a moment to, if there is some subconscious tension due to trauma still in our system, you can ask yourself, is this loving, happy, soft energy, can it be trusted? Is it safe to surrender to it? Do I feel safe to surrender, to completely relax into this loving, soft energy of my basic state? Ask yourself. Because we feel that our own very basic state is loving, is kind, and even if we try to find, like, does this basic state has some kind of hidden motivation, it is completely sincere and pure of that egocentric, self-based, samsaric energy, isn't it? So if we discover this basic state and meditate on its energetic quality, its qualities of happiness, joyfulness, love, kindness, it is easy to trust it, isn't it? And because of this, we can really relax. Even those traumatic knots, K-N-O-T, knots, loosen. And this is very important. If you have had difficult relationships difficult relationships with people, perhaps since childhood or youth. If you have had difficult experiences or traumatic experiences, it is very good for us to ask every now and then in our practice that does this feel safe? Can this experience be trusted? Because that releases the traumatic knot, opens it up. Do you feel okay? Thumbs up, down. Good. Then let's ramp it up. So yesterday we did like simple well-wishing phrases or prayers. Let's do the same. May the energy of loving kindness, may the energy of happiness that is already in me, may it increase. May the energy of happiness and joyfulness completely fill up my body, mind, and heart. And then you let your body, your mind, your heart soak in it. Soak in the generated energy of loving kindness, happiness, joyfulness, of our own basic state. You marinate your body, marinate your mind, which is where our existential pain, stresses, possibly traumas, where they are. first we did relaxation, then we established knowing awareness, basic awareness. Then we generated the happiness, joyfulness, light, and love of our own basic state. And now we have been soaking it into our system, into our physical system, non-physical channels, centers for about 10 minutes or so. Let's generate it again. May each one of us be filled with the blessings, with the pure energy of happiness, kindness, joy, light, love, and healing of our own basic state. May we be filled with it, completely filled. So that our pains, troubles, traumas are washed away and healed by this energy, by this light. And then we soak again, marinate in it again. It's kind of like if we have a potato chip and we have a bowl of dip. We put the chip into the dip so that it's completely under it and leave it there. Exactly the same thing. Here we are getting healed and enjoying this energy of our own basic state so that we may get healed, so that we may get enlightened for the sake of all sentient beings. For the sake of all sentient beings. Here we are enjoying the blessings and pure energy of the Buddha within, of our awakened nature. Same nature is in all beings, including all human beings. We are simply discovering and using what is already in us, potentially. We are tapping that potential. If you feel heat, like you become very warm, even start sweating, this is okay. It's just a sign that the body gets heated up, gets warm because of the pure energy meets the self-centered, self-based habits and patterns. And because of that meeting of the two energies is how the heat is generated. It's perfectly fine. It is very common. All right, I think it's enough in sitting position. Please stay with the energy that you have generated and lie down. I'll let you know when to get up.